Hey, this is the Prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the Prophet? Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Prophet to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it poppin'. We chillin' in the trap. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket by any means I rock. This is the Prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the Prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the Prophet.
Let's see. I plugged in a bunch of stuff. I unplugged everything. This is kind of a new setup, and I replugged in everything. So there may be some stuff that's still unplugged. We'll see. Okay, so new internet, new studio, new background, new bounce like sound boards. You can't see it. One day I'll set up a second camera and I'll run it as a second thing, and then you'll be able to see this. The whole thing. The only one that really knows what this looks like is Jerry. I think Jerry is the only one that has the full look at the studio so far, but we'll get there. So hopefully the new internet is better than the old internet. Let me make an adjustment. Let me go up a wee bit. So we're still figuring things out. We got it, all the cameras set up for Money Map, but we haven't done it yet here. So anyway, we got the naturey background. That's good fun. Pretty much upgraded everything. So yeah. Don't worry, Jerry. We're going to build you a Costa Rican studio that will make all others frail in comparison. So you guys know last week and for the last like 4 to 6 weeks, everybody's miserable. Everything's down. No one wants to buy, even though everybody said if Bitcoin would only go back down, I would buy some. Did they? No, because no one actually buys when they're going to buy. Anyway, so we were sad and depressed, but now a moment of LeBron James.
LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
That's right. Best in the business. So yeah, so we're back. Markets are way better than they were. And let's go ahead and go through and say hello to everybody. And hopefully, if I have plugged everything in and if Spectrum is what they say they are. Oh, that's Kitty. Meow, meow. Oh, if I let her in, she likes to eat the wall. I don't know why, but she's a big fan of eating plastic. Cats. So anyway, Joe Fernandez. Buenos dias. Let's say hello to. Oh, that's weird. It's got me as two. So, you know, we started the clips. We started a clips channel that'll just put out clips from the different videos. We're getting that squared away so that people that don't have time to watch the whole thing can just watch clips. Great. Good for those people. Okay. So that'll be starting soon. Well, the channel already exists. Crypto and Coffee TV, clips, whatever. Floridian living in NYC. Good to see you. Todd, Brady, also good to see you. Hoop and Tony, P. Kelly, I get that a lot. Of course, Jer. And Jerry, I think I'm going to be on a show with Jerry. Let's get the deets, Jerry. But I think is it this Friday? Is a really cool show that you're going to do with Jerry, with Jungle Inc. I don't know if Crypto Area is going to be on, but I know and I think I'm going to join in. and do my best to put out any rampant excitement that might be in the XRP community, just in case they get over their skis. No, that should be a lot of fun. So we're going to have some fun with that. Michael, Hoop, and Tony. Oh yeah, I'm not still muted, am I? God. All right. That'd be funny if I just went a whole show muted and I just kept ignoring the mute things. Let's see. P. Kelly, Demayan, Adam, good to see you. Adam, I don't know if you found Money Map Press, if you found that, but that's what it is. And they do a bunch of broadcasting, and it's all over the map. So yeah. Let's see. Who do we got? Is there an echo? Is there too much of an echo? We're dealing with it. We're going to have more sound deflecting stuff. So we'll get there. But it's like you want a little bit of an echo because it doesn't all come through to the mic. So we're playing with it. We're playing with it. All right. Michael, Jimmy James, and Susan Denver, what's going on? Would you call this a new kind of network? I would call this an old kind of network. It's a new building. It's a new building. So technically it's new internet. It's a new kind of internet, but NKN is a new kind of failure. Athena Rules, what's going on? I never heard you talk about Solana. What's your take? Well, I can cover that real quick. My worry is that Solana is being pushed really, really big by FTX, which is Sam Bankman-Fried, but whatever, the guy that just appeared, that's been in the crypto space for about 13 minutes. And all of a sudden he's like, anytime a company is all about promotion and you've never heard of their product, it almost always is some kind of sketchy criminal Ponzi scheme. This just stinks a little bit too much. My guess is FTX exchange, which no one, I promise you, no one here has ever used yet that they're naming their name. This smells a lot like Enron, is what it's like, the crypto Enron. So no thanks. No thanks, Sam Fried Chicken Bank, whoever you are, who just appeared on the scene. You know, I've been in crypto for 13 seconds. I'm worth $700 billion and I'm just going to buy Goldman Sachs. Shut up, dude. And cut your hair. Okay, let's see. I get that a lot. Good to see you, Tony. Good to see you. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried that they keep pushing that and pushing that and pushing that. And so Solana for me is like, okay, cool, I guess. I'm not super excited about it as a protocol layer. I'll probably take some kind of little position in it because you want to own all the protocol layers as a general rule, but it's nothing exciting. Not to me. There's plenty of people that are trying to reinvent the wheel, but like, how many times do we need to reinvent the round shape? Besides, it wasn't the guy that invented the wheel was a dummy. The guy that added the other three, that guy was the genius. All right. Let us say hello. Biotech Breakout, Antonio, what's going on, buddy? Sniper Princess, Cassandra, Joe Pirate, CC Brown. Oh, Joe, what's up, man? EOJK, what's going on? And all set, good to see you. And who else do we have? Virulu, Trofimov, and Belinda Cook. Oh, Crypto Gamer 420, what's up? Okay, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, if the internet is spotty, let me know. I don't think it should be because supposedly we have four times the BPSs. So whatever that means. Buenos dias. Okay, so we'll get to it. We'll do our cognitive bias work, obviously, but we're also going to talk a little bit about Fireblocks raised more money. I think they raised another $300+ million. Who are they hooked up with? Well, we'll get to it, but that's pretty important. And that's what gets us over towards Fetch. I'm also going to go through an article that I found that was really neat. It gives you a basic breakdown of what's going on today, right now, this second in Congress. There's hearings going on, hearings on the Hill. Some of it crypto adjacent, some of it directly about crypto. I think part of it is like the U.S. is being in a chokehold of ransomware, blah, blah. And then the other one is CBDCs and their efficacy. Do we need them? And then the other one is crypto. What is it good for? Or something like that. So it's like, okay. Okay. Barno, what's good? What's good? And S2K Hobo, good to see you. Awesome. Amazon denied all of the, of course they did, because insiders are talking and saying that Amazon's going to be accepting not only Bitcoin, but it's part of an actual major rollout of cryptocurrency integration in and around Amazon, which makes sense, obviously. But of course, publicly, Amazon is denying it in the same way that PayPal denied Bitcoin all the way up until the day of. Like the day before, they were like, it's ridiculous, we will never. And then like 13 seconds later, the teletype came out and PayPal is accepting Bitcoin. Oh. AWS, yeah, kind of. Well, oh, I hear my kitty. Kitty! She's out there doing laps by the door, letting me know that she's right there by the door. She didn't want to go have a play date. I try to catch her. This new place is way bigger. I try to run around and catch her. There's so many rooms she can hide in it. I'm like, well, if you're hiding, I'm not taking you for play date. Meow. So who knows? Maybe I'll go get her. Maybe I'll open the door during the, maybe I'll do that. Okay. Anyway, let's take Crypto 10X. Now that Crypto 10X is here, we can get the show going. Let's go and touch our non-commercial breaks, and we'll be right back, and then we'll officially get it kicked off. We'll get this pig. We'll kick this pig. Okay, this is the one. This is the little girl. I don't know if you can. Go ahead, look at the people. Oh, her claws. I don't declaw her because there's coyotes. There's coyotes around. But anyway, she's a little bigger than than the last time you guys may have seen her. Hi, take a little kiss. Oh, say hi. You want to say hi? So she is, for anybody that's into cats, she is a hybrid between a lynx and a serval. And she's gone. And that's our kitty corner. Please don't chew on wires. Really, the only thing I try to keep her from doing is chewing on wires. If I could just keep her from chewing on electricity, I think that'd be a huge victory. Okay, let's go. Let's go here. Boop. Let's do a quick recap of the prices. See what's going on. Okay, kitty. No plastic. I'm going to be getting on her. Nope. Hey, nope. 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 Studio's new for her, so she's getting, nope. Hey, stop. 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 God damn it. Come here, baby. Come over here and play with something that's not electric. Well, lesson learned. Don't ever do this. Don't ever let Kitty in the studio during the show. Okay. So between Kitty and prices, Bitcoin 38.1, 7 day it's up 27%. So it's had a nice little bounce. It's about flat. Stop. Hey, stop. No. Nope. Nope. She's eating. Hold on. Hold on. Kitty's eating plastic. Come here. Gotta go outside. She's very pretty, but I have a feeling I would be called by the Animal Protection Agency if they pumped her stomach and found like 17 pounds of plastic leaves. Pretty sure I would be in trouble. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's keep it going. All right, so the Bitcoin, 38.1, cool. It's down about 1% yesterday. So from Sunday afternoon, why? $900 million worth of shorts were liquidated on between Binance, Bybit, and Deribit. Now, I actually think that there's more going on. I think when these massive liquidations happen, I think there's a little sketchiness involved. Again, only because I saw it at Deribit. This is just to anybody that might be on Deribit. Be very careful and don't take any leverage, obviously. But when you're selling options, they pull some shenanigans in order to, what's the word? Oh, steal. They pull some shenanigans in order to steal. So be very careful because they will over accentuate the price to force people to get liquidated. It makes perfect sense if you're the exchange, because when you liquidate these people, they don't get paid their premium. You suck away their Bitcoin and they get their premium, but not the Bitcoin, even though it's an options contract that they sold. So it's pretty nasty. And I watched it happen in real time. So I'm guessing the same is happening over at Binance, where they'll over liquidate and put some money in their back pocket and just take advantage. Now, should they be taking advantage of people with 125x? Yeah, because those people are stupid. But stealing is stealing. And I think, Binance, they're having their own woes because they steal. Oh, I thought it was funny. Binance is putting out a bug bounty, a $10 million bug bounty for Binance Smart Chain. Do you think that maybe this is something that should have been done, I don't know, before you released Binance Smart Chain? Do you think maybe that's something that we should do before we start building all these projects on them and CZ starts tweeting them out to the world? Hey, check this out, check that out, check Pancake Scam and all this kind of other stuff. Do you think that maybe the bug bounty program is something that we could initiate while the product is in beta, rather than after billions of dollars of value are floating through it? To me, and I'm a simpleton, but I feel like, your QA testing, your bug bounty programs, your code audits, maybe you do that before you release it. I don't know, just one guy talking, Okay. Anyway, Bitcoin does not have that problem. Bitcoin is just fine. For all of you, when Bitcoin was 60K and you said, man, if it just got to 40, I would buy. It's at 38. Is your buyer broke? Is your trigger finger broke? No. So this is where you see the true mettle of people. I had an almost client. I say almost client because they try to kind of pull a quasi shenanigan. And they said, oh, wait, I don't want that in the way. They said, oh, by the way, for those of you that can see right here, that is the Beeple, the abundance. It finally came, the physical one. I'll show that to you guys one day. It's pretty dope. Anyway, and then beside it is another one. This one is from Infinite Objects. And the Beeple one has a base, a chrome base, and it lights up and does all sorts of fancy stuff. The other one does not light up. It just does stuff, which it's cool. It does cool stuff. Love NFTs. Okay. All right. Ethereum 2274. So Ethereum took a big bump up, but you'll notice these things are very closely aligned. Bitcoin's up 27% in the last week. Ethereum's up 26 and change last week. Cardano 20%. DOT 27%. You say, well, how come Cardano's not moving up faster? Well, there's a pretty easy explanation. It didn't sell off as hard as the other ones did, right? So it didn't sell off as hard. Therefore, it doesn't have to recover as hard. Does that make so? It has been consistent. I like it at $1.27. I started adding again last week. I think I said this. I added it at $1.04. I started adding Cardano again. You say, why would you add Cardano? You have a lot of Cardano. One might say you have a dearth. You have a plethora of Cardano. Yeah, but it's about return on investment and velocity. You find the assets that are going to have the most velocity, and you use those to mine other assets. So I had some cash, because you have cash, hopefully, sitting on Nexo, getting 8 to 10 to 12% interest, and you deploy it when you think there is capitulation, when you think there is peak sadness. And so there's two sides to it, right? There's peak retard. That's where everybody's going crazy because there's too much going on and da, da, da. And then there's the other side of it, which is peak sadness. And that's when I get four calls. When 4 people that I think are smart call me panicking, the 4th call, I say, we're at the bottom. I feel like we're at the bottom. Now, is this the bottom for Bitcoin? I don't know. I feel like, at least for right now, we've reached a line in the sand. If Bitcoin doesn't pop above 40, my guess is it's going to erode down back to the low 30s again. But that's just a gut feeling. There's no data to back that, because there's no data to back any of this, because this is a newly forming market and there are no rules. And I think a lot of the retail Joe Six-Pack investors are out of the market, and there's going to be less and less of them, unless Joe B extends forbearance for another 6 months, tells people they never have to pay rent again, tells people, like they're already doing in some states, if you have kids, we're going to give you money forever until they're 18. Then we'll give them money. They start eradicating some school debt. Let's see how far they go with this free money, because it looks like what the US is doing is slowly morphing. This is like isomorphism into universal basic income. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Expat Matt says ADA more stable. It's also because liquidity pair with ADA is USDT, USDC. Therefore, it does not move as much as markets. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, there are more pairs. If what you're saying is accurate, Expat Matt, there are more USDT and USDC pairs. Therefore, and I would urge everyone that's holding Tether, get out of Tether. Don't hold Tether. You use Tether to make a trade, and then you get out of Tether. Hold USDC or Paxos. Stablecoin-ageddon is definitely coming. So, you know, be careful, bro. Okay. But yes, so it's more stable because it's more it tends to be more paired with stable coins than with other assets. Okay. So we're at $1.28 Cardano. We're at $14. Polkadot. I think Polkadot really sold off hard. Too hard, in my opinion. None of these things should be down on the 30-day. And if they're down on the 30-day, then there's some opportunity there. Matic, $1.02, sold hard. It's up 42 on the week, which is cool. It's posting a recovery. 42% is not nothing. But it's still down on the month. So this kind of, to me, looks like an opportunity. Theta, my only problem with Theta is I don't know how to price it. I don't know what Theta is worth. And I don't know how to quantify it. I don't think anybody does. But I know I felt like 14 was too high. I don't know what the price is. I would probably add below $5, but probably not above $5. So this is kind of a wait and see for me. VeChain, 8 cents. It got down to 5 cents. Blah, 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 blah. It's up 40%. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, still having a pretty good year. It's up, 434%. Most of us, I think, we're buying it at 1 penny or less than a penny. So you're still in for an 8x. I would urge some of you, if you are in VeChain and you were around 1 to 2 pennies, take about 20 to 25%. This is just recommendation. You can do whatever the hell you want. This is not advice. I took about 30% off the table. I don't like the things that I liked about it. I know are now antithetical to where I think it could go. So I liked that it was China. I liked that it was supply chain provenance and tracking and all this kind of cool stuff and logistical support and all these cool things. These are all the things now that I think are problematic. China is not just cracking down on crypto. If you keep looking at what's coming out, China's cracking on everything. even their own stock market, even their own companies, Alibaba and everything else, the darlings of the Chinese markets are getting regulated. So again, this isn't a China hates Bitcoin thing or China hates crypto. China hates anything that ain't China. This is China being China. And so I don't think that companies with exposure to China I don't think that's a good thing anymore. And I don't know whether, it's an interesting question of whether China is going too far, of whether this is getting into almost like Maoism. If Xi is becoming dangerous, or if he's becoming kind of a conspiratorial and panicky and freaking out and all this kind of, I don't know what's going on. It seems a little weird, but I will say this: over the last 2,000 years, China has a longer term vision. And perhaps if I was in China with all the information at my disposal, perhaps I would behave differently. Kava at 20% earnings on Kraken. Cool. I just don't own any of it. I don't really follow it. 20 seems a little high, but you know what? Audius, 30% seems a little high. We'll get to Audius when we get to it. We're going to talk about that. Filecoin, $49. We were buying this around 12, 13 bucks. It got up to 200 for like a weekend and plummeted back down. So it's down 6 on the day, up 14 on the week. It's still down 10%. I think Filecoin, you probably could take a position here, but where could Filecoin go? Well, again, where's most of the mining of Filecoin? China. Now, it's not the same kind of mining. You don't have a bunch of rigs just going and you know, churning up coal facilities, but it's the same difference, right? So it's distributed data, which is a little bit different, obviously, because you're essentially utilizing resources that already exist. Now, obviously, some people are gaming it. They're going further. They're buying storage equipment and servers and things like that. But again, China, bro, and Filecoin's not a Chinese project, but it's most of the mining and data storage is in China. So I'm just, again, a little reluctant to be super excited about it. We'll see. Cosmos, I don't know what to think of Cosmos. It's a layer 1. It's important. I don't know where it fits in. I don't think it does enough demonstrably different to set it above its peers. It would be on that same level. It's like Avalanche. Cool, but I need more cowbell. Engine token, if you like NFTs and you like kind of that adjacent NFT adjacent exposure, I think you have some Engine. I pulled out of Engine. I think I completely pulled out of Engine, and I spread. That's right. I spread it between Nexo. What else did I get? Oh, and Rune. When Rune got their liquidity event, I thought, well, that's too cheap. So I got a little bit more Rune, and but I dumped. I'm not against Engine. I just, again, I want to reduce my exposure to kind of protocol. I'm really trying to get rid of lottery tickets. Anyway, Nexo is having a pretty banging last few days. We're back to about 170. It's a green straight across the board. Up 2 on the day, 27 on the week, 40 on the month, 700 on the year, which is cool. This token probably heads back towards $4. Scott, good to see you. Frank, also good to see you. P. Kelly, good to see you. Near, what's going on with Near? Near is, I believe, is waiting. It's a sleeping dragon, sleeping tiger, sleeping big animal. So I think you wait for Near to get a listing. I don't think that a Coinbase listing makes a difference for Near, but I think that they probably push it out as one of those part of Coinbase Earn and things like that. Some other Coinbase news coming soon. Telcoin is one of the hot. Matter of fact, I'm going to look. I think it was one of the ones that was one of the recommended tokens. It was yesterday. It was like an 86. XYO network is now it's an 88. So it's getting there and it's super cheap. So anyway, cool. XYO network. Great. Flow. They got a lot of money. Rareable's doing a project with them. A lot of cool stuff. Les, what's going on, man? So I think if you want NFT base protocol layer access, that's where you go. So I would say you should have some exposure to it. OGN, I'm not a fan. I'm not a not fan. Well, how would you say that? I'm not a hater. I just think that they don't know what they want to do. Are you doing online stores? Are you doing NFTs? Are you doing flavor of the month? I mean, if the Beastie Boys come out with another album, are you going to have a Beastie Boys offering? Like, I don't know if OGN, if Origin knows how they want to package themselves and how they want to get out and kind of their communication with the public. That strategy is a little weird to me. So it could be a diamond in the rough, or it could just be a piece of coal. And for that reason, I'm going to kind of not have exposure to it. All right. Graph token. Interesting. And you'd think that people would be more interested in it, but they aren't. It has not performed well. It's been a fail. It was not one of my, now again, it's not a fail, right? You're still up a 3X on it. We're around 20 cents, 25 cents we were buying. So it's a 2.5, 3X. It got up to a couple of bucks. It doesn't seem like anyone is interested in graph token, but we've had 6 weeks of pain and suffering and sadness. And a lot of these lesser coins, less known, less loved, they've been liquidity stripped for other assets, for more quality assets. Seeing a lot of push for Hex. Hex is a scam. You guys know that, right? Just real quick. Hex is a scam. Hex is a Ponzi scheme. Safe Moon is a scam and a Ponzi scheme. These are both Ponzi schemes. They've even said that they're Ponzi schemes. Like, it's actually set up like a Ponzi scheme. So just, be careful where you put your money. Okay. AR is interesting. AR is starting to kind of build back up. It's think of it like Filecoin. Well, this is a loose explanation, but think of it like Filecoin for Polkadot. 1 inch, I like it. The staking is really good right now. I think it's, you know what? Let me tell you before I lie. The staking on 1 inch, stop it. Give me 2 seconds. Is 1 inch staking is currently 16%. So cool, right? Anyway, 16% staking on 1 inch. So yeah, I'm staking 1 inch. I like it as a swap platform. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. So I will continue to kind of sit. It's not a giant position. It's a very small position, but it's fun. I like 16, and it's been ranging. It got as low as like 4.5%. It's been as high as 60%, 60, and it fluctuates. I'm guessing we're averaging over 10% though. No, Thorchain has not been hacked. Their liquidity pools have been flash attacked, and there's a difference. If you don't have enough liquidity, clever people are going to flash loan your pools. That's the DeFi side. Unfortunately, a bunch of people put their rune in these liquidity pools. And I'm not going to say I'm like a sage or anything or an oracle, but I was very clear. I'm not staking rune. I'm just leaving it where it is. I'm not staking it. I'm not messing with any of that because it looked too complicated. I went in and it looked too complicated. It's like staking fetch. Cool. Staking fetch on the MetalX liquidity pool. Not cool. The people at Amplify don't know how to run a business. Right? Amplify are the ones that manage the MetalX staking pool. And so I could take you on a journey of how much of a dumpster fire that is. I could take you on a dumpster fire journey of Matrix and how that staking doesn't work. So Fetch on mainnet, yes, wonderful staking, undervalued token, which we're going to relate to later on in one of the stories. But, Rune is not there yet. So hold the token or don't. I think it's a tiny market cap. I think it's unloved. I think this thing gets back to 15 or 20 bucks, my guess. But have a fair position. It's a protocol. Have some exposure to it. Nothing crazy. Fetch AI protocol. Fireblocks. BNY Mellon. IOTA. Tons of partnerships and Coinbase listing coming. So just throw that out there. Coinbase. So it's coming sooner than later. Matter of fact, I think you can do, I don't know if you can do inbound deposits yet. because Fetch is about to do their mainnet. They're going to launch their mainnet. So they're doing token swap in 2 days. So have your Fetch on MetaMask, you rubes, or have it on the Fetch platform. If you're staking right there, you're fine. They'll do everything for you. If it's in MetaMask, you're going to be fine. You'll be able to just transfer it over and do all sorts of stuff. I received mail from Hex this week and put it in the shredder. Yeah. Hex is a scam. That guy's a douchebag. I'd beat that dude up. Did we have a discussion a week ago? Yeah, we did. Okay, audio. This thing bounces. If you want something to trade, now remember the staking is 30%. So I wouldn't say just go and trade out of it. But if you were looking to trade, and while 30% a year staking is good, this thing goes up and down about 20% every other day. Sebastian, what's going on? Audius is a tradable asset. Jasnock, what's going on? Audius is a tradable asset. So that's something you get in. Gordon Bennett, good to see you. Let me say also hello. Club ADD. But I missed somebody else. Who did I miss? Release the Kraken. Yes. Who did I miss? I missed somebody. Yeah, the problem is, Antonio, yes, squirting water at the kitty. I don't want to squirt water at the kitty in a room full of electronics. You see, that could be problematic. Okay, Jared, what's up, buddy? Ryan, also good to see you. Transition being delayed. Check Telegram. Good. I hope it's being delayed because I can just keep getting my staking rewards right there at their on the Fetch staking platform. So good. Yay. Okay. Audio's long-term, just needs to get adoption. Yeah, maybe. My only worry with audio is I don't know if they know what their plan is, so I am going to probably start trading the ranges on this one because I don't care if I get pushed out of it. I'm not as bought into audio as I used to be. Cool, I guess, but I'm just reducing my exposure. I don't want lottery tickets right now. This isn't a protocol. It isn't an NFT platform. It's a music platform. It's kind of memey. I don't know, man. Okay, Render. For me, it's still a strong buy. I'm going to continue to dollar cost average up to $1. DCA to a D. DCAD. We're dollar costing to $1. DCAD. DCAD. Or DC adding. Anyway, new kind of failure. Who cares? Matrix AI network. It's a pump and dump. But I think it's going to have another pump in it when people start looking at, and look at the market cap, $4 million. Seriously. Me and Jerry can buy it, the whole thing. So Matrix AI network, is it a real AI network? No. Does it have a nice platform? Nope. Does it have good staking? Can the developers explain anything? No, they won't even answer your phone. They won't answer any support requests. So what does this look like? Well, it looks like a scam. But they have some partnerships. Who else has a lot of partnerships and also kind of looks like a scam? Oh, that's right, Chainlink. But the Chainlink token did pretty good. This thing is cheap, and we know that when markets go up, what do all the idiot rubes do? They go fishing for cheap assets. So I think there may be space in your portfolio for cheap, subpar quality assets that you think when the markets turn around might get a bid, and then you immediately sell them into the excitement because you do not care about them. Matrix AI network, man, is one that you do not care about. You will sell into the excitement and be happy. So where do I think it goes? It probably has 20, 30 cents in it. Why? Because that's what happens to pump and dumps. Are they going to do anything meaningful? No way to know. Does it look anything like Fetch or AGIX? Absolutely not. It's not even the same ballpark. It's not even the same zip code. It's not even the same universe. They don't have the team. They don't have the tech. They don't have the brain power. They don't have Ben Gortzel. They have a couple of random partnerships on a website and a bunch of and a super pumpy community full of douchebags. But man, AGIX is the opposite. They do have Dr. Ben Gortzel, and they have this big team of very smart people that are working on creating this AI marketplace, because this is going to be very important to have decentralized AI resources so that regulators can't come and just put the put the handcuffs on everything. And SDAO. Okay, just remember when you're looking at Singularity DAO is not Ben Gortzel. Singularity DAO is not AGI. Okay, it's not Singularity Net DAO. It's Singularity DAO. Yes, they piggybacked. There's some cross marketing and things like this, but SDAO is not AGIX. Do not confuse the two, despite their little handouts and their little airdrops and stuff, which, by the way, they have now successfully taken 2 airdrops from me, and they took away the tokens that they gave me the first time. It's just a cluster. And so my gut feeling is if you can't get your own airdrop right, then I'm not sure I trust you to manage AI resources. Now, they say, the people that answered me at customer service, because they at least do answer customer service, they said, well, it's not us. We let another company handle the airdrop. Okay, well then if you hire idiots, I got to assume you're an idiot because you should have come in and fixed things. If you can't, use a dummy. So I'm not super excited about SDAO. I like the price action, and I've made a king's ransom, but just because I made money on something doesn't mean I trust it. So is it in the same category as AGIX and Fetch? No. But is it infinitely better than Man? Yes. There. I hope we've covered that. Okay, let's switch gears for a second. Let's have a little bit. Let's get in. I'm going to throw, it's news, but it's news with some opinions. Man.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
So, you know what I think we need? I think we need some conspiracy music. Why? Because we're going to talk about Tether a little bit. Okay. What's going on with the Tether? First of all, let me make sure you guys can see that. So it's not just me. Ooh. Conspiracy. Actually, it's not a conspiracy. They're a bunch of crooks. Absolute crooks. Okay. And this is a surprise to nobody. No one on earth is shocked by the fact that these guys are crooks, because they're crooks. So what? They probably helped form Bitcoin in the way it is now. Okay. The Tether put, crypto equivalent of credit default swap. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So now why did it go to this? This isn't the exact article I wanted. Let me just make sure one thing. Okay, that's the Fireblocks article. Yes. The one that I really wanted to look at, we can talk about it. Okay. The Tether put, crypto equivalent of credit default swap. Cryptocurrency market makers say they're fielding inquiries about how to bet on a falling price for the dollar peg stablecoin. So my gut feeling, and I'd like to see everybody chime in on this. If there's a bunch of money sitting in a stablecoin, and there's a let's call it an exit. Let's call it a disorderly exit. At first, it won't be disorderly, but I believe it will tend to look disorderly. Now, would you exit Tether and get out of the market and go back to US dollars? Or would you transfer that into another asset like a Bitcoin or Ethereum? So, and for the sake, we're going to say Ethereum, just say Bitcoin or anything else or USD. So you tell me, lean in on this one. I want to see everybody's opinion. Do you think that if there's an unwind in Tether, that people start to panic out of Tether into US actual dollars or another stable coin? So stable coin is one answer. Bitcoin is one answer. And then altcoins is an answer. You guys tell me, guys, gals, and pronouns undisclosed, what you think. And let's see, Hoop and Tony has, my opinion, Tether will be catalyst for the next hyper bear market. So the market can last for one more push to 150. This would ruin a lot of people. Okay, interesting. I mean, these are your opinions, and there's no wrong or right about an opinion. But I don't think it creates any kind of bear market. I don't think anyone cares. USD. Okay, maybe. Bitcoin. If I held USDT, I would split 50-50 BTC. I think you kind of nailed it, Jerry. I think that's more likely. In my opinion, that's where a lot of the action goes. My opinion. Just one man talking. Okay, let's see what you guys think. Other stable coins, maybe USDC, Paxos, altcoins, Bitcoin, stable coins. So I tend to believe it's going to be stable coins and some percentage Bitcoin. USD. Yeah, like actual USD. So you guys are saying actual, they would exit the market completely? I don't think they would exit. I think if you're in Bitcoin or you're in the crypto space, that you might go into other stable coins. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a stable coin transition. It'll be disorderly at the very end, and it will lose the peg, and then that will be the end of it. It'll just cease to be a thing. Or because people don't give a poop, it will be nothing. It will be a non-event. They'll go, it's all, we already know it's fake. Everyone here knows right now with certainty that they are 2 or less % capitalized. There's $2 for every $100. Listen to what I'm saying. Let me go big screen. Listen to what I'm saying. There are $2 for every 100 USD Tether. And then there's a bunch of nefarious, sketchy, inauditable, mark-to-market, bullcorn, crap, junk, paperweight, toilet paper, garbage can, dumpster fire, spit juice, debt notes of a variety of colors and shapes and sizes. It's just a bag full of garbage. So you know for a fact that they have been lying the whole time. We all knew that. You know for a fact there's maybe $2 per 100, so 2 cents per dollar. Still better capitalized than the US dollar. A certain part of me thinks no one cares. But if regulators come in and regulate Tether, well, it won't matter if no one cares. You'll still have to exit out. And my guess is you would exit to other stable coins. And maybe some people will get into Bitcoin a little bit. But I don't think people that are sitting on stable coins are going to go, let's go stable coin and then let's gamble. Or let's go stable. So I think you just go stable coin to another stable coin, right? You can easily go from USDT to USDC, which is what you should all have done. Guess what? USDC is also not capitalized. They too are a bunch of effing liars. So they had to get called on the carpet. Guess what they own? A bunch of corporate debt, senior notes, a bunch of BS, a bunch of dumpster fire, a bunch of tomato cans, and 60% USD. I guess it's better. 60% is better than 2%, but it's still not the 100%. These people, the only one that's capitalized, as far as I understand, after audit is Paxos. Paxos. That's it. Let's see. Jerry says in the last 3 years, if the last 3 years told us anything, having US dollar type coin has major value for 2 reasons: quick deployment into digital asset, earn interest far beyond USD. Yes. And so that's why I think people would just go probably USDC unless there is a safer. Now, I just don't know. I think Tether's days are probably numbered. So they have started, it's official. There are criminal investigations going on now. It's no longer a civil thing in the Southern District of New York. There are criminal investigations ongoing now. Yeah, that well said, Jimmy. Hard to believe anyone knows anything about crypto would hold Tether. Hence why I think they'd go to cash. But I don't think you would go to cash. You go to cash, you lose the ability to derive a yield, which is what Jerry was saying. I think you want the yield. I think you just go USDC. My guess is USDC catches a bid. And then if a bunch of people pour into USDC, you can expect that those rates they're paying on USDC to come down. Markets always arbitrage out all these great opportunities. Anyway, okay, Omkar Godbull, who, to be fair, Omkar Godbull, he has some dumb arguments. And he's not my favorite of the writers. but he's consistent. Like Hollywood. They'll give you something terrible, but they'll give it to you every day. All right. Tether, the largest dollar-backed stablecoin, penetrating nearly every nook of the crypto market, is in the news again for inauspicious reasons. Perma bears who are worried that the lingering Tether scare would eventually culminate in a breaking of the buck might now be searching for a crypto market equivalent of a credit default swap, a derivatives instrument that allows buyers to bet on another trading counterparty's credit worthiness. Yeah, if you could buy swaps against Tether, that'd probably be cool. But you know what else? Just switch it. Just don't be the last one to the party. Just get out. Hit the exit. Hit the bricks, folks. All right. Let's see. Perma bears who are worried that the lingering USDT would unwind would eventually culminate in a breaking of the buck might now be searching for the crypto market equivalent of credit default swap, a derivatives instrument that allows buyers to bet on another trading counterparty's credit worthiness. All right. That's how in 2008, 9, 10, 11, that's how a lot of the people got when these companies were getting blown up. People that bought swaps against those companies like Dr. Barry and these other guys, they did quite well. All right. The answer to that might be a put option on Tether, essentially a bet that the stablecoin's price will fall below a sensible redemption value of $1. That probably makes a lot of sense. Some traders have been actively scouting and searching for such a trade, according to players in the digital market space. We continually have inquiries on Tether puts. Okay. The thing is, if Tether gets drained, I think the way to look at it is to go look at the DeFi liquidity pools that use Tether in the pools. And if there is a repricing of Tether, that is that if it's a disorderly unwind in the price of Tether, you know, if it loses the peg, $1, 99, 98, 92 cents, something crazy, then you have an opportunity because that pool, there's an imbalance in the pool to arbitrage that pool, right? So for those of you that want to do that want to, and again, my name's Bennett, I ain't in it. But the way I would look at it is look at some of the less capitalized pools with an asset that maybe you like, where there is a dollar peg and where USDT is the other part of the liquidity. And if USDT is on the other side of that, you could take advantage of that impermanent loss of a repricing in those liquidity pools. Yes, this gets very in the weeds, very nitty gritty. There's a lot in there, but just keep it in your mind because that might be a way to attack this rather than put options on a dollar pegged asset. And I'll just read this last paragraph and then we'll go. On academic question, the matter of how to bet against Tether is getting fresh impetus from a report Monday. The U.S. Department of Justice is investigating the stablecoin issuer for possible bank fraud. So far, the token, which serves a crucial role, I think it serves a less crucial role than people think. In the plumbing of the $1.6 trillion crypto market, has held its peg to the dollar. Tether described a latest report as repackaging stale claims as news. Yeah, of course you're going to say that. But yet you've all been indicted. You've all had to surrender to U.S. authorities. So it's kind of funny. That's like someone who murdered 58 people. And then you say, hey, did you murder someone else? He's like, you're just bringing up the same murder that they bring up before. Yeah, because you're a murderer, you dick. Of course we're bringing it up. It's germane to the conversation of your sketchiness. Anyway, it's kind of fun. Let's see, discuss the mark-to-market assets that back these USD coins. When the underlying assets drops like Lehman Brothers, the supply of these coins will collapse. So I used to believe that. The problem is that Tether creates Tether out of thin air. So I'm not sure, like a lot of the assets that they hold, again, which they probably don't hold. Remember, Tether pretty much lied about everything. So let's assume they're lying about everything. They lied about everything on the way here. Let's assume they're still lying. Let's assume they have nothing backing the token. Among crypto people, it doesn't even matter. They don't care because if enough people trust, remember, what is any economy? Debt, assets, and confidence. Confidence. If you believe this asset will trade for another asset and you can find consensus, or you come to an agreement, okay. Well, I mean, that's it. That's price discovery. So until confidence is shaken. So even if all the underlying assets that back, which is, senior debt and a bunch of junk. It's probably some garbage bonds, some junk, a lot of junk debt, senior debt, whatever, a bunch of junk and some treasuries and stuff like this. So, and you say, why would they have those? Well, because they're trying to drive some yield among the process. Look, but when a company launches a stable coin, they're not doing it for free. They're not doing it to make the world a better place. They're still trying to make money. They're still trying to make currency units. It's still a business. The business needs to make money. And if I take US dollars and trade them for my stable coin and put my stable coin out, there's no path there where it creates money unless it's a counterfeiting machine and I use it to buy a quality asset. That quality asset goes up in value. I sell off some of that asset, wash, rinse, and repeat, which is what it looks like they did, but they got a little greedy. And as the markets picked up, instead of adding, 500 or 200 million, they were adding 10 billion, 5 billion, 2 billion. And people were going, whoa, whoa, whoa. The whole banking system in the Bahamas doesn't have that much money. So how do you guys have 10 times the amount of currency units that the whole effing banking system has? And yet you're part of that banking system. So whether you want to use the kind of the simple kind of logical, transitive property, if A implies B and B implies C, A implies C, okay, right? Or the predicate logic, A, therefore B, A implies C. So either way, Tether doesn't make sense and still nobody cares. So if all of their stuff is found to be garbage, I don't think anybody cares. Anyway, keep that in the back of your mind. Cool. There's the Tether news. I just want to touch on something about Fireblocks. Crypto custody firm Fireblocks raises $310 million at a $2 billion valuation. It was important for us to show the customers that we have the balance sheet and valuation stay independent. Yes, I like how they say independent. Guess who's raising the money for them? BNY Mellon. What do you mean? You're not independent. Nothing independent. It's like a little kid. He's like, I'm independent. And he has 5 UFC fighters walking around him. And he goes to school and talks trash to kids and goes like, I dare you to punch me. No way, man. I'm not laying a hand on you. These guys are going to beat my butt. So there's nothing independent about Fireblocks, but I'm fine with it because what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Fireblocks has raised $310 million, securing the cryptocurrency custody platform's unicorn status with a $2 billion valuation. Announced Tuesday, the Fireblocks Series D round was co-led by heavy hitter tech VC Sequoia. Listen, again, follow the money. Sequoia, Stripes, Spark Capital, Coutu, and DRW. Also a co-leader on the round was SCB 10X. I don't even know what that is. The venture arm of Thailand's oldest bank, Siam Commercial Bank. Anyone? Jerry? This should be where you pop up and say, don't they have connections to Ripple? Yes. Yes, they do. So I would say for any of you Rippleites out there that still believe Ripple has a chance, this is actually good news for you. You should be happy. Does it mean, who knows what it means? It's probably nothing, but it might not be nothing. Anyway, now the Siam Commercial Bank is now the third global bank to invest in Fireblocks alongside BNY Mellon and SVP Capital. Technology firms that specialize in the safekeeping of cryptocurrencies and tokens have become desirable items on the shopping list of banks and large fintech players eyeing the digital asset space. Firms like Fireblocks can provide cryptographic key sharding technology such as multi-party computation, MPC, are seen as particularly valuable, and there have been some acquisitions and partnerships. So what's happening is, long story short, a bunch of big banks are going to leverage Fireblocks to help them custody digital assets. They could then offer them to their clients and feel safe. And the banks don't have to specifically custody themselves, right? They'll probably try to plant some insurance providers in the middle of that to look a lot like the FDIC, which it won't. But remember, the FDIC, by the way, is only 2% capitalized. They're just as poorly capitalized as the scammers over at Feather. The difference is people at Feather are all under arrest, and the people at the FDIC probably on vacation. Okay. Fireblocks, which partnered with BNY Mellon earlier this year to help custody digital assets for the bank, said its solid $2 billion valuation signals to the market that the company's probably not in the range to be acquired. Cool. So here's what I would say. Why does this matter to you? It matters because fetch. Say what? Fetch? Yes, because Fireblocks is working with fetch on a variety of things. Fetch, think autonomous economic agents. Jerry and I did a show on this. Think the future of AGI, and I don't mean AGI, the company, Singularity Net. I mean actual artificial general intelligence being applied to financial markets to handle a variety of little functions. So yeah, it's interesting to me. Again, things are starting to smell like the big banks are coming. Well, they're already here, are they not? So that's kind of interesting. Cool. Keep it in the back of your mind. So Fireblocks, you're going to hear about it more and more and more. And the more Fireblocks becomes a household name, you're going to start to hear nuanced references to fetch, I believe. We shall see. And then let's go ahead and do a little bit of, let me do this. Let's talk about the illusion of truth effect. So let me do a couple of things. Boom, bam, share screen. You guys are learning about all this stuff as it happens in real time. This is fancy S. Okay. Let's do a little cognitive bias training. Sit back, relax, and for the next 5 minutes, let me spit some knowledge into your brain box. I'm going to mama bird you some cognitive bias. We are number 17, if you're following with your books at home. The illusion of truth effect. People are more likely to identify statements as being true if they have heard them previously, even if they cannot consciously remember having heard them, regardless of the actual validity of the statement. I'm going to put it up on screen so that for the home gamers, it looks like we actually planned this. What? It's insane. Okay, in other words, people are more likely to believe a familiar statement that is false than they are to believe a true statement that is unfamiliar. Why? Because you're comfortable with what about the interest rate fallacy? It's easy to believe it's patently false. What about the idea that the Fed pumps liquidity? Easy to believe, patently false. What about the idea that the Fed in 2008 did something new and unique, an experiment in monetary policy by creating quantitative easing? Sounds good. False. Japanese did it 7 years earlier. It's well documented. This wasn't an experiment. Oh, QE works. Wrong. It's neither quantitative. It's neither easing. And oh yeah, the Japanese did it 7 years earlier and it didn't work. So again, there's the popular myth. Oh, the Fed's pumping liquidity. Wrong. What does the Fed do? It's an asset swap on a balance sheet with coupons between banks inside the Federal Reserve System, the 24 prime brokers, and the Fed. It is an asset swap. It doesn't provide liquidity. Oh, lowering short-term interest rates, spur lending. Wrong. Banks pull up stakes, they quit lending, and they start investing. Why? Because they don't have to hold as much money as they used to. Why? Because the Fed lets them risk your money and gamble. And then it gets the Treasury to come in and bail them out with stimulus packages. Oh, stimulus is good for America. Wrong. 9 out of every $10 go right back to the same companies that cheated. You have a bunch of gamblers gambling, and they rack up a bunch of losses. Then the world needs a stimulus package. Then a stimulus package comes. You get $1. These crony capitalist pieces of garbage, they get $9. They get bailed out. Their junk bonds anyway. So, but we believe the myth, right? What is the Fed really good at? PR. That's what they're good at. Public relations. And that's about it. They don't understand money. They don't understand much. Why? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. Let's not go into it. But you see where there's all these kind of common myths that everybody believes because they're common myths, because it's gossip it's easy to remember don't fight the Fed. All these little kind of like 4 and 5 word little BS parables that you can just go, oh yeah. I know about economics. No, bro. No. This is why we're unpacking this stuff. But it's not just that. There's a lot of things in life where we believe familiar falsehoods and we're just averse to changing our mind. I think you want to be really good at changing your mind and letting your old ideas go. The easier you get at just saying, oh, I need to look at this a different way. When someone has a contradictory statement, one, arguing with them won't change anything. You're not going to change their mind. But what you might do is you might change your mind. Someone was telling me about SafeMoon. One of my buddies, Ryan, he was like, SafeMoon is awesome. It's the best thing. I go, it's a Ponzi scheme, bro. He goes, no, it isn't. This is a big deal. I said, maybe I've looked at this thing wrong. Maybe I got to look at it again. Perhaps I've unfairly punished SafeMoon for being scammy. So I went and relooked at SafeMoon. Oh, by the way, yes, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a scam. Stay away from it. But I was willing to be wrong. This is the thing. Okay, example. I think we've had examples, but you see an advertisement for the same products over and over, giving you the illusion of truth in what they're saying, even if there's no facts to verify. Tell a lie enough times, and it starts to become the truth. Well, that's the whole way the whole Nazi party start. Listen, let's go even there have been a lot of people, Winston Churchill, who just kind of rewrote history and told his version. He was even asked, like, he was such a poor statesman. He was asked by journalists, like, aren't you worried about what people are going to think about you? And he goes, no, because I'm going to write what they should think about me. I'm going to tell the story that they will read. So they'll believe what they believe. So tell a lie enough times, it starts to become the truth. The Fed. It's going to be the biggest liquidity event since Noah's Ark. Wrong. But it's fine. If you tell the lie, you get on 60 Minutes, you lie. Bernanke, oh, it's some subprime mortgages and a bunch of people that shouldn't be buying houses. It's their fault. Wrong. Lie. You're full of it. It doesn't matter. You just keep going on the news media and telling the lie, and you see it. You're like, well, it's on CNBC. I mean, it's got to be true, right? No. So let's see, regardless of the validity. Yep. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a movie, thought it was kind of meh, but heard news media drone on and on about how good the film was and then see it winning Oscars. Oh God, do you guys remember? What was the one that was just like black and white, like security camera footage in Mexico? And everybody was like, it's so sublime. Only super, super intellectuals will really get it. That's how it was. Awful, unwatchable crap. And everybody thought it was like so good. It was so bad that actually it caused, this is a little Hollywood inside, it caused a huge rift in the Directors Guild. Steven Spielberg even stepped up to the plate and said, hey, this is bullcrap. Like, enough is enough. There's no way this movie is the Oscar magnate that it is. It's and I'm not going to say the movie. You all know what it was. It was about 3 years ago. It was the black and white one. It was all in Mexico and blah, blah, blah. It was garbage. We all know it was garbage. No one enjoyed. I'm not going to say no one. We don't have absolutist statements because that's bad, right? That's cognitively biased. There's no absolutes. But 99% of the people that watched that movie, one, they probably fell asleep. Two, it was not a good movie. It was an awful movie. Okay, we tend to believe things that are familiar even if we haven't really fact-checked them. Matter of fact, the more you hear something, the less you feel inclined to fact-check it, right? Because you keep hearing about it. You keep hearing about it over and over. You're like, well, I guess it's true because a lot of people say it. A lot of people say a lot of stupid stuff. Okay. It's easier to assume information is correct based on the continual social proof and validity offered by the continual bombardment of similar news, right? You hear it on 5 different channels. Why? Well, there are reasons behind why certain media gets pushed out and fed to the public. A lot of it is kind of controlling the narrative and things like this. A lot of it is carrot waving. So you look over here and then stuff happens over here. But the long end of it is its simplicity. Don't ever assign malice when an easier answer is probably stupidity. A lot of times it's just that no one fact checks. One news organization will put out a story and everybody in the race to be relevant and timely will just pump the story out, put their little spin on it. And so again, Don't always assume that there's some evil intent, some malicious, dark, but when it can be chalked up to just kind of stupidity. All right. There's so many stupid people. Okay. Marketing and advertising prey on this, knowing that if you hear Coca-Cola a million times a day, you'll find yourself ordering one when you're in the line at the movies or shopping at Kroger, regardless of the fact that there is so much sugar and salt in Coca-Cola. This is true, by the way. This I have checked, that they have to add special drugs in Coca-Cola to suppress your body's natural gag vomit response. I am not joking. There's so much salt and so much sugar in each Coca-Cola that if you had those independently, you would throw up. Your body can't accept them. There's special drugs in there that keep you from throwing up. Yes, look it up. It's haunting. If you're going to get Coke, one, just understand what you're getting. Two, get the natural, the pure cane sugar ones. Don't get the ones that have corn syrup. The high fructose corn syrup. The corn syrup stuff is like suicide sauce, slow death sauce. It just destroys you. But the ones with pure, all of your sodas, I know this is completely tangent. All of your sodas, you probably, not health advice. God, that's all I need. Somebody suing me because their stomach lining's gone. But stay away from the high fructose corn syrup. Now the corn lobby is going to come after me. Anyway, be rigorous in your constant, okay, let me do that tomorrow's. Be rigorous in your constant evolution and reevaluation of facts and data. Don't rely on the media to form your investing decisions. Don't rely on me. Ask the right questions. This is a common theme, right? Ask why, not what. Ask the right questions, be vigilant, make trades that fall within your level of risk tolerance and understanding. And I would just say risk aversion. If you're uncomfortable about a trade or uncomfortable about an investment, don't do it, right? Don't chase green candlesticks and just assume that maybe you missed something. Assume that maybe you got it wrong. And if you're constantly being rigorous in self-evaluation, rigorous in, being curious, not judgmental. Be rigorous in that. Don't be rigorous to make trades. Don't be rigorous to eject. Don't be rigorous to enter a trade. You enter a trade with as much information as you have. Then you continue to look for ways it might be wrong. Okay? But don't have a bad day and panic out of an asset. And don't have a FOMO day and panic into an asset. What's the name of that source document? Well, it's mine. I wrote it. Something I wrote about 1.5 years ago. And actually, Jerry and I were talking about it while I was writing it, because when Jerry and I were first doing the show, by the way, Jerry was very instrumental in helping us get this show started. We were spending a lot of time with cognitive bias. We're getting back to that because I think there's a lot of flawed thinking, myself included. And we just have to constantly audit our own thinking processes. Anyway, let me go back to this screen. If we are auditing our thinking processes, then we will be thinking about thinking, right? The base level for all of this is you have to have a structure for thinking. You have to have structure to your decision-making process. Critical thinking and understanding game theory, understanding economics and how those two are intertwined, that's first. Before you even learn about economics, before you learn about equities markets and Fed funds and repo and all of the gears that turn the legacy system, and before you learn about derivatives and fast and forwards and swaps and futures and options, and before you learn about crypto and software and decentralized this and consensus and validation of transactions and propagating transactions, and before you learn about proof of work and the different styles of resources for consensus, and before you learn about all of the physics necessary for these chips to work, and before you learn about all of the value propositions of protocols and store value and all this kind of crap that you have to absorb, you need to think about thinking, because that will help you make decisions in your entire life, and that will make everything easier. The stuff that you're unpacking right now, you're building this base layer so that you can make sound, as I'm not going to say unflawed, all of our decisions are flawed because we're humans, but you can reduce the amount of flaw or dislocation or inconsistency in your thinking and reduce it as close as you can to math and logic. And then all of your decisions, not just in investing, but in life, are going to be more pragmatic, more controlled, less emotional, likely more valid. Cool? Cool. Okay. Let's call it a day. Let me say I will, you know what? I won't see you tomorrow. I will have the show. We're doing what's called office hours at Money Map, where everybody just comes in and asks questions. And the Money Map crowd is a brand new crowd, and they're just getting exposure to crypto. So we're doing a thing called office hours. But I will make that available to everybody on the Telegram. Yeah. So great. Have a good one. Stay out of trouble. We'll look for Jerry's show. Jerry, real quick, if you could give us some details on your show. I think it's going to be Friday, if my math is correct. But I'm looking forward to that. And even if I get browbeat by Jungle and the gang, I'm okay with it, because I am willing to be wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong or right. I just want to be rich. It is it's like Krypton coffee. Let me see if I can find the banner. I did a banner for it so that people can find it. So this is the banner with my Twitter. So there's that. There is another one. Yes, here it is. Here it is. It's t.me/crypto in coffee. Cool. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Stay out of trouble. Jerry's show is Friday the 30th, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific. So 9 Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Be there or be, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, but I will say, don't do anything, my poor insolvent drunk, strung out on meth, smoking water, angel dust, quaalude. And guess what? Grandma was all loopy this morning. I said, whoa, what happened? She's like, I went out on a date with Bill Cosby. I'm like, oh, grandma.
Hey, this is the Prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, you talking to the Prophet. Hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Prophet to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it poppin', we chillin' in the drop. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket, by any means I rock. This is the Prophet with Nick Black, it's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, you talking to the Prophet. Hey, you talking to the Prophet.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.